Welcome back, everybody, to game number 3 for the G1 League Upper Bracket Round 1 match, rematch at that, between ForLove playing off against Dreamz. Whoever wins this moves on to face Flash Esports in the Upper Bracket Round 2, and that team, whoever wins that match, will be heading into the main event. You're watching the G1 League. This is the qualifiers. The main event has $52,000 at stake, US dollars for the prize pool. I am LD, and I'm joined here today by godz. godz, game 3. Who's your money on?
Oh, I don't like this question. I don't like this question because I don't know, and I don't like not knowing things. Especially when it comes to Agent Dota, I pride myself in knowing absolutely anything and everything, but I have no idea. These two teams that look really even. I may have a better idea at the end of the draft, but right now I've got to say this is going to be a tough matchup for either team to win. I mean, both teams are just so hard to break, and we're going to see what they can come up with. And I think the big thing for this game is going to be the draft. I mean, already a couple changes coming from both sides. ForLove finally decided to ban out the Rubik. The Spirit Bearer and Templar Assassin once again banned by Dreamz, but two teams, I mean, they're going to go with what they're comfortable with. ForLove are going to pick Banana, his Nature's Prophet again. Dreamz this time going to make sure they get the Chaos Knight, the hero that has not yet lost in this series.
The Prophet pick again for ForLove. It worked once, it didn't the other time, and they're going to give it a third shot, roll the dice with that. But Dreamz getting their hands on the Chaos Knight. This hero has been very successful. He's 2-0 in this series today, winning both of the games, one for each team, and we'll have to see if he can win a third right now. Just such a powerful initiator, tanky, reliable stun. And now on the carry that has been on and off very popular in Chinese Dota, we also see as the pinoys love to run this as a solo mid, bottle crowing a lot, get that Shadow Blade initiate, they get the DK, the immediate counter for Dreamz, pick up the Queen of Pain. So now two mobile, aggressive heroes, the Chaos Knight, the Queen of Pain. I'm imagining some sort of support will be picked at this point, perhaps a Shrek, perhaps a Lina, something to, even an Ancient Apparition, something to combo with the Chaos Knight,
Yeah.
and at least give them some laning options as we head into the second stage of the draft. But no, they go for the
The
Shadow
Pinoy
Demon.
support. It's the Shadow Demon. Yeah, this is. I mean, we mentioned this before the game. Looking at our key points for Dreamz, play Pinoy Dota, and that's Shadow Demon. They like to have that disruption set up, but you can use it offensively to set up the Chaos Knight into a stun, and then you've got the illusions dealing damage on top of the stun. You can also use it defensively. When a hero's getting ganked, you defensively disrupt them, and then suddenly they're taken out of the fight. They can't be focused down, and you can turn the fight around. So I like seeing Dreamz stick with what they're used to doing, stick with what they're strong at, and it's a hero who, I mean, disrupt onto that DK, you get some DK illusions of your own in that ultimate form. They can do a bit of damage for that 5 or 6 seconds you've got them for. So I think it works for Dreamz, and we'll see them maybe go for they can still go for the Leshrac, they can still go for the Lina and run it as a tri-lane, I think, which is what they're going to want to do with an off-lane solo. So for now, they just want to make sure they get the Shadow Demon, which was actually banned out in the second stage last game by ForLove.
It's also great against Dragon Knight as Tidehunter is picked up. That's your third pick for ForLove. Big team fight presence now between the DK, the Tidehunter, and the Prophet. Once they get that level 6, we'll have to see how the lanes go and where the Tidehunter is playing, how quickly he can get that Ravage online. But the pure damage from Soul Catcher, really helpful to chew through Dragon Knight, ignoring that extremely high armor, that natural base tankiness coming out from the Dragon's Blood. And the Demonic Purge, very nice to slow him down and turn a hero that's normally pretty good at kiting and chasing into one who can be kited and can be picked off. I like the Shadow Demon pick on multiple levels, and finally I will add that it's great at dealing with Chaos Knight, so if ForLove got their hands on that, that could have been trouble, but Dreamz pick it up. Enough about Shadow Demon though, we're into that second stage of the bans. Chen, Venomancer, Leshrac, and Ancient Apparition all getting banned out. Both teams need supports, and both teams know it, and that's why we see all these supports being banned out now.
Yeah, a lot of supports being banned. I mean, Dreams still need a side lane solo, so maybe ForLove want to ban some of those side lane solos. Banning out the Chen, a good decision when Dreams have used that a couple of times already. So, I mean, where do Dreams want to go? I mean, they can run Queen of Pain as their side lane solo if they really want and get a solo mid, but they could even run an aggressive tri-lane with the Shadow Demon CK and some kind of stun to follow it up. But they need that solo hero. It's something maybe we saw them using Darkseer back in game number 1, and that's maybe where they want to go. Darkseer's still in the pool here. Julz played it back then, so maybe we'll see ForLove banning out the Darkseer. If not, Dreams could quite happily pick that one up.
This feels like a new version, right? Because you never see Darkseer slipping through this far.
Yeah.
At least not in the previous version. But Dreamz will happily secure that in exchange for a Lina being picked up by ForLove, giving them some nice burst damage. They don't have too much initiation right now as far as stuns go. It's just going to be the DK with that Dragon Tail. Once he gets the ult, Tidehunter can initiate, but you walk in and ravage. The enemy team, Dreamz, pretty mobile with the blink, the natural high move speed, the Chaos Knight, and Search. They could just kind of run away from this Tide. So I feel like ForLove's still lacking that true reliable initiation for the early to mid game before the items come out. And Dreamz pick up an Enigma. This is a combo, the Darkseer, the Enigma, that really worked well for them in game number 1.
Yeah, it really did, and they've got some strong lanes, strong heroes now. The Shadow Demon CK, the Darks are off lane, Queen of Pain mid, Enigma most likely going into the jungle. JYC played him really well at game number 1. ForLove have to use that information to their advantage. They know what's going to be coming. It's very unlikely we're going to see an offensive dual lane or tri lane because Enigma needs that jungle. They can't really run a Shadow Demon CK in the hard lane when it's just a dual lane. So ForLove can maybe run an offensive tri lane like they did in game number 2. It worked out game number 2. They could try it again here, considering Enigma's in the jungle, and
Wow.
they pick up a Lich for now, so they go with a strong support. This is a hero picked up so they can win the laning stage. I mean, they can go dual lanes, they can do a 2-1-2 setup, so they win pretty much all 3 lanes if they want. They can run Prophet in the jungle, so he's farming there, but Lich will be looking to probably be in that off lane and playing defensively, pulling the lane back as much as possible. I don't think they want a Lich up top against that Darkseer lane. I think this is going to be like maybe a Lich Tide at bottom with Nature's Prop, even... I mean, Lina DK top, Prophet mid with a Lich Tide bottom even. There's a number of different options ForLove can do here, but they're going to be prioritizing controlling and winning as many lanes as possible.
Yeah, it looks like it's a Tide solo mid. We've seen other teams use this. I think Dignitas from America has done this quite a few times and been very successful with it as well. Running that solo mid Tide, getting the quick Ravage up, and then just using that Ravage to force fights. Either the enemy team dies trying to fight you to the early Ravage, or they back off and you get some towers that way. With Prophet and DK hitting a quick level 6, this could be powerful. The other thing I want to point out about Lich, sort of just a random mechanics point, his ult has a mini stun, and it's a pretty reliable way to cancel Enigma's Black Hole. It's just a nice benefit to this pick. It's not the primary reason they take it. With that being said, let's introduce the players. You handling the Lich, going to that bottom lane, and it looks like Banana, 5 clarities. This looks to be a jungle build for him, but he's going to head bottom for the moment, and now he's going back to Fountain. I'm surprised he's not scouting with Treants, but probably will do that now. Gwei on that Tidehunter solo mid. 8GK, that support player, handling the Lina. Observer wards and sentries picked up, and Hansi, the hard carry. We saw him on AM in game number 1. Not really winning the game for his team, but he did farm pretty well after a very difficult start against, well, rather difficult start against Darkseer. He'll be playing the DK.
Yeah, and over on the Dreamz side, the team who won this matchup once but are being forced to replay it due to an unallowed stand-in from another team. We've got Oe playing the Darkseer heading towards the top lane. Julz is on the Queen of Pain this time. He's in the mid lane, and over towards the bottom lane, the jungle. We've got Weisup playing the Enigma. We've got L playing the Chaos Knight, and then finally JYC on that Shadow Demon. So there's your strong duel lane. It's up against a Lich solo, and I don't know about the solo bottom Lich. I mean, sure, it's only a dual lane, but there's so much killing power with the CK Shadow Demon. I mean, you get so much extra damage from the Disruption Illusion. CK alone, he hurts and he hits hard, and you can see Lich just hugging his tower for now while that Dark Ritual sort of pulls the wave back as much as possible to his own tower.
You know, the Dark Ritual does pull the wave back, but it can also be countered by pulling your own camp, and Lich can end up very underfarmed, very underleveled in this lane. So let's see what he does, but for the moment, he's going to place a Sentry Ward. Not sure what this one is about. Maybe expecting the Ancients to be warded and wanting to be able to de-ward that. Kind of an interesting place to put a Sentry. Maybe worried about a smoke, but you only get... You gotta watch this area. Like, you can't... It's hard to just watch.
They don't show on minimap. Yeah, like you say, they won't show on minimap, so unless he's hovered over it, he won't see them when they smoke gank, because unless something's changed from Dota 1 to Dota 2, I'm 90% sure you won't see them on the minimap if they're smoked up. If they're invis, you do. Oh, DK Lina, there's the strong dual lane with the dual stuns. They chase all the way into tower, they take down Darkseer, and that's not the start that you want as a Darkseer in that long lane.
Lina just clipped him there with the initial Light Strike array, and then the Dragon Tail to follow, and you can see the chain stun. This is big time, because now DK should be able to get his boots if he wants, or maybe Lina even getting them quickly. Darkseer still doesn't have Surge, and he only has 41 experience, which I believe is only 1 creep. They could continue to kill him once they have some mana on the DK. Surprised, really, that isn't bought anything yet. There's a bottle on the courier, but that's for Gwei, and Lich being driven really far back off this lane, but it's hitting level 2. Dreamz pushing the lane early. I don't really like this choice. I feel pull the lane back, do some pulls, get some levels, and punish that Lich for being in the suicide lane. Punish him for not having any way to get gold or experience, not being able to farm Ancients, but they choose to push the lane. Now Lich is going to hit level 2 and be halfway to level 3.
Yeah, Lich getting a decent amount of XP, which the same can't be said exactly for this Darkseer at top. It's going to get harder because DK's gone for a very early Soul Ring, so he's going to have that mana that you mentioned he's short of, and that's going to be coming up to him in just a second, I believe. It's on the Courier, so with that, I mean, he can spam those stuns, Flame Breath, pretty much as he wants. I mean, a 30-second cooldown on the Soul Ring. Darkseer, though, getting close to that level 2 and should be able to get it without dying.
Yeah, right as you say that, they want to kill him, so... I mean, I don't think they have to burst right now to kill him, even if they hit the stuns perfectly. He's pretty tanky, 640 health. And Lena's taking a lot of harass. In fact, Oe kind of wants to initiate. He surges in! Oh, the Light Striker is going to hit DK out of mana. Has gone for that early Soul Ring, like you mentioned. He's going to be able to constantly spam those nukes. Julz really dominating this middle lane. Tide going to do some bottle crowing of his own. Going to match Julz. Bottle crow for bottle crow. If Julz even goes for one, the constant Shadow Strike harass, ever so aggravating.
Yeah, and I mean, he doesn't even need to. He's the one who's going to have pretty much control over all these runes. And if he wants, he can just get those runes whenever they come up. But I mean, he's one of those things where if he goes to get a rune, that's sort of a 10-15 second window where Tide can get some uncontested farm and XP, and he wants to be always in this lane. So still bottle crowing, it's still a decent option here. And the good news is, I mean, for Dreamz, they've got this Enigma jungle. Enigma a much faster jungler than Nature's Prophet. He can just really farm quickly. He can almost basically stay on par with the solo heroes in terms of XP if you jungle as efficiently as possible as an Enigma jungle. He needs that Soul Ring. He's got it coming out just now by the looks of things. Yes, he does. And he's farming faster than Nature's Prophet. So Nature's Prophet maybe going to look to start getting involved by ganking, but not quite on the same level as this Enigma.
Yeah, definitely not. Tide dropping really low. Julz could bottle up here. I'm surprised he's not bottle crowing. Like you said, he can look to get the runes. There's going to be a haste rune spawning bottom. Prophet's going to TP in bottom. Then he cancels it. Not sure why. Shadow Demon's going to pick this one up instead. Prophet choosing to jungle. So the haste rune, Shadow Demon's protecting it for the Queen of Pain. Now grabs it. Now wants to go bottom. Well, the Sentry Ward, actually it dies. So not actually going to spot this one. But Lich, wisely backing off, sees the position of the Chaos Knight and knows that help cannot be far off. His Chaos Knight is basically diving past the tier 1, farming very aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, when Chaos Knight goes that far up, you must be thinking, okay, there's a very good chance Shadow Demon is trying to come around, backstab me from behind, especially when you've got no ward vision. You've just got to expect the worst, and maybe, I mean, that Sentry Ward does give vision if it's an unsmoked hero coming from behind. All the Observe Wards are at that top lane, so they're looking to go in, but Lich, I mean, he's been good. He's been spot on with his positioning, and he's almost got his boot. So this perseverance and just getting whatever creep kills he can, just not going down, the gold ticking up is going to get him his boots up pretty soon.
Yeah, and Lich already has above average base movement speed, sitting at 315, so if they catch him, he's still probably going to die, but it'll help him stay out of range really nicely if he positions himself properly. This could be a kill mid. Julz maybe thinking about blinking it with this creep wave, could scream and look to go. Surprised he has it. The wand up from Tide, and Julz not wanting to dive that. If you blink into an anchor smash, the tides will turn against you very quickly, and that was a very unintentional bad pun.
Oh, no, it works, man. You should have gone with it.
It was bad. It was bad. I think a few people on the stream cringed.
Just a few, but Julz, he's bottle crowing, and this is what he needs to do. I mean, he may not continue to bottle crow. A rune is spawning in 20 seconds, and with that rune, I mean, you mentioned he didn't want to dive in on that Tide, but he may be looking to pick up a rune and then look for some kills in the side lanes. The Lich at bottom, but more importantly, probably this top lane, the DK Lina. That's where he wants to sort of alleviate some of that pressure on the Darkseer, who's had a bit of a tough time so far. Especially if the rune spawns top, I think we should expect him to try maybe gank top or even gank this Nature's Prophet.
You remember, the initiation range is pretty long. Darkseer gets sprouted, beautiful sprout, but Surge, even at level 1, is a strong enough. Hansi about to get in range for the stun. The Treant's blocking him. Now he's going to connect. In comes Julz, level 7. Light Strike Array is going to hit. Oe's going to die. Julz blinking in. Wants the double. Maybe the triple, but in fact might just die if the DK stun connects. Prophet bouncing through is going to snipe Julz a bit. Not quite enough damage. Hansi still chasing. The blink finally cools down. Julz could bottle up in the trees. Maybe look to go again, but Hansi doesn't have the combo, the stun, and the flame breath, so probably not a good idea to do that. Tide hitting level 6 mid. Has the boots, has the bottle, and most importantly has the ravage. So I think the next tower that we see getting pushed, they will be contesting. ForLove going to be they gave away a tier 1 bottom while this was going on. Lich loses that tower. One of his weaknesses as a support is denying the creeps, meaning your opponents will push faster, and he has no real way to anti-push effectively. Nova's okay, but it's really not enough. But now with this ravage up on Tide, this is where things get easier for ForLove.
Yeah, it was a good trade for Dreamz. I mean, getting a tower, trading 1 for 1. I mean, the one downside is that Ravage, which is now up in play, but that's happening inevitably as a solo mid Tide. Tide's actually rotating towards bottom lane, so Dreamz need to be really careful. I don't think they expect this coming. I mean, maybe they should. Shadow Demon's going to go right into this Tide, probably into his death.
Yeah, Anchor Smash. Look how much damage it does against the supports. Now a TPN from the Prophet. Are there any tangos left? Oh, Prophet, that is not where you want to be. Sprouting himself in with the Chaos Knight. There is a Tide on the chase. Gush into Anchor Smash. Should be a kill. The Dragon Slave is going to secure that one. DK farming up on the top lane. So it's starting to look like a bit of a 4 protect 1. These 4 very powerful early to mid game heroes, creating space for the DK, but the rotation in from Shadow Demon, and this might be a kill. It probably should be Disruption, but no Soul Catcher up against DK. It shouldn't matter. I think the Iron Shell will be enough. Maybe not. The Poison, not going to be sufficient. This Poison build, what do you make of this? What is the reasoning? This is kind of curious.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Shadow Demon did the same, but I remember commentating with Blitz, and he commented on the Shadow Demon. At level 5, he had 3 points in Poison, 1 in Disruption, 1 in Soul Catcher, and they seem to value that additional damage coming out from the Poison. I mean, you can place it yourself. Soul Catcher isn't always reliable. I think he figures if you, the way the Pinoys figure this is if you're going to land Soul Catcher on a hero by themselves, they should die anyways. But with the Shadow Poison, you can use it in a team fight against 2, 3, 4 heroes. It scouts for you. It does additional damage, I guess, when you get the additional levels in it. But yeah, I mean, it's just really the pure damage. But I'm not convinced. I still like the Soul Catcher, and I think getting a blend of the two is still a strong build. But yeah, I don't know.
It's a little
I don't know. Lely, what do you think?
You know, you get 1 point. It does allow you to scout. It does give vision, so I really like it from that aspect. It's a decent way to sort of harass. I just think on a support Shadow Demon, it's not going to be leveled up quickly, and Soul Catcher is very powerful even with 1 point. And Shadow Poison, not good until you get a couple points, but he's now level 4. He goes back for a point in Soul Catcher. I know for sure they would have gotten that kill top with Soul Catcher. That's why I sort of bring it up, but in the mid game, over the course of a team fight, if Shadow Demon doesn't die, you're right, he'll do a lot more damage with the Shadow Poison. So a little bit more utility, a little bit less damage this way, but we'll see how it works out. So far, not so good, but that could quickly change as the action picks up mid. Queen of Pain, immediate Ravage to start this one off, followed up by the Light Strike Ray, but the defensive disruption, and Julz blinks away. A Ravage wasted. Away, also escaping up towards the top lane. 2 great escapes for Dreamz and a big Ravage used there.
What a play by that Shadow Demon coming in from the side. He stayed calm. He got that. That's where the Shadow Demon pick really comes into play. If that's any other hero, that's a dead Queen of Pain more or less. And I mean, Julz. I mean, he's going to be pretty thankful for his teammate for that one. I thought it was a really smart gank. I think he smoked in from behind. Oh, Julz is going to now steal the room from Titan. He's going to go on this Titan here. He should be able to get this kill. Oh, Julz.
Oh no! Oh, he didn't stay out of the Anchor Smash range. Bit of a misplay there from Julz. Could have easily kited that one and then gone back in.
Tide does go down.
He was denied. He denied those, so not even getting the gold. That's a little frustrating because Julz really should have had a double kill and lived there. A slight misplay, and you see Anchor Smash is not something to be trifled with. But yeah, this Shadow Demon deserves a beer already for that save on Julz earlier in the mid lane. Julz better buy him one after this game.
Absolutely, and Dreamz doing a good job at now, once again, putting pressure on towers. They should be able to get this tier 1 mid. It's going to get down to deny range. Enigma wants to show Shadow Demon disruption going on Lena. They can use those illusions to help make sure they get this tower here. Dreamz do need to be careful though. Backup is on the way.
DK has pretty much been left unchecked top. I think he might have something on the courier. That's his Ogre Club, it looks like. But meanwhile, Lich, taking a lot of damage, is just going to lob the ult in there and hope for the best. And will he get the best? Yes, Lena zaps him. 2 for 1. They did lose the Enigma and the Shadow Demon. Now Julz chasing forward. No mana on this Lena. Blinking. Oh, she just has it with the wand. Unbelievable. And Julz taking another stun. Might even die. He just gets the kill. It's a double, but again a death for Julz. Now score 4-8. It just feels like they're always having too many heroes at the point of attack. Too many heroes for Julz to deal with. And shockingly, Chaos Knight has not gotten involved in any of these fights yet.
Yeah, I mean, for ForLove, they just seem to always have that one extra hero, that one ability which they need. I mean, the last 2 team fights, I mean, those 2 kills on the supports and mid with the Lich ultimate, they happened because of that Nature's Prophet ultimate being thrown in as well. It seems Banana always has that ultimate when it's needed for the team fights. He's not just spamming it, he's saving it for the right time. And then Tide coming in with the Gush, ensuring the kill on Julz. So, really just, I mean, ForLove just being one step ahead of their opponents.
Yeah, the tower's taking a lot of damage. Ravage is back online now, but Dreamz want to fight this. They want to defend this. There's a black hole coming up soon. Will the tower be denied? It's not. Yes, it is actually by the Enigma. I believe by the Eidolon's vacuum back in. And then 4 heroes retreat from ForLove. Tower deny. 3 heroes, 4 heroes used to get that deny, but definitely worth it. Very important to get those tower denies wherever possible. Limit that income, limit that economy for ForLove. Now the question is, what does Dreamz do after getting that tower denied? Do they look to push? Do they look to fight? Darkseer not so strong at this point in the game. He doesn't have his wall up. He doesn't have max vacuum. But the rest of these heroes are pretty much combat ready. I mean, Queen of Pain, maybe you want to get level 11. But aside from that, I really think they can make some kills happen. And you don't want to let this DK farm too much. He's got the Ogre Club. He's not far off a BKB.
Yeah, I think Dreamz are getting close to wanting to fight. I mean, the mech as well, very close on Enigma. He's just about 500 gold off from that. Maybe they'll just group up, go for towers. I mean, I think even without some of these items, they can still at least split, push, get some towers. ForLove don't have the most mobile lineup apart from this Nature's Prophet, so it's going to be not that easy for them to defend towers. DK TPing top to try start spamming this one off, and Enigma, Queen of Pain, I mean, they should be able to get some damage done. ForLove, though, they're not wanting to give this tower up without a fight.
And in fact, they saw all the heroes that are up here. They know exactly what Dreamz has because they have a lane ward placed to sort of secure this vision. Hansi, Shadow Strike, and then the Blink Scream, but now they're forced back and the backstab comes in. It's a trap, says Quay. Ravage on 2. No black hole, no mech. Disaster for Dreamz as 3 heroes instantly disintegrate. And again, no Chaos Knight in this fight, although I don't think he would have made a difference there, but just sort of, you know, Dreamz trying to force fights, but just not finding the right open. Score now 4-11, and Dreamz, who took that first best out of 3 with the stand, and now in a bit of a pickle, really. Tied TPs immediately canceled, so that creates a little space for the CK to farm. But a CK who's only level 8 against the DK who's already 11, don't really see the CK out-carrying him by himself.
Yeah, the CK hasn't got the levels. He's got the farm, though. I mean, he's the highest CS in the game, sitting on 72 with the 20 deny, so he's got a lot of farm. 1 death to his name, but I still feel like, yeah, if he gets those levels, he can maybe compete with the DK a bit later on. DK going for the BKB, so he's, I mean, it's not a hero that's really a hard carry. I don't think DK could do quite as much damage as a CK until much later in the game. And then when you look at the illusion, CK is still going to be a bit more of a damage deal than DK, but DK, I mean, you've got the strong disable, you've got the Frost Dragon. He's a lot more versatile than the CK, and we're going to see whether or not Dreamz can sort of net together this AoE combo of them. They need this Darkseer vacuum into a black hole with a Queen of Pain ultimate. That combo needs to start happening, as we're going to see julz once again. It's not looking good for him.
They have julz number this game. They just keep on catching him out of position, picking him off, and a nice job there using the fog to their advantage. ForLove catching julz unawares, and it was one of the keys to this series that we talked about, is slow down julz if you're ForLove and get him off to a decent start and sort of ride julz's individual solo play to victory if you're Dreamz. And right now it seems like ForLove are getting the better end of this equation. For anyone just tuning in, I see we've gained a lot of viewers recently. This is game number 3 of Dreamz versus ForLove, round 1 action for the G1 League qualifier match. So whoever wins this, they're not into the main event just yet, but they're only 1 best out of 3 away from being there. Whoever wins this face off against Flash Esports. But enough about that next match, because this match is by no means over. Just sort of in the middle of our first match day. We have 2 more to follow later on.
Yeah, we've got some fantastic matches later on. We're going to have EG versus SQL to round things off the end of the night. But directly after this, the winner will go up against Flash Esports, who completely dominated NA. We saw all kinds of fun heroes builds. We saw a Pudge. We saw a Dagon faceless Void. We saw Dagons all over the place. And Flash Esports look a bit unbeatable. I mean, this is going to be hard for either of these teams up against Flash Esports. And the beauty of today is we're going to have 2 teams who qualify for the G1 League. This is not just like another part of the qualifier. This is the 2 teams who win the 2 round 2 matches. They qualify for the main tournament.
Oh, DK Force Staff away. Is going to try to escape Black Hole, though, catching out too. The Chain Frost bouncing, doing so much damage, and the Lich is going to die. The Queen of Pain blinks in. Dreamz wins a big fight, getting 2 kills. They do lose 1, but maybe going to catch out this Lina. Oh, she just escapes vision. Just escapes detection. Insane Black Hole, that fight.
Yeah, all about the Black Hole there. They just got away as well. The Lich ultimate. I mean, it gets Shadow Demon. Could have almost gotten more with the Enigma as well as Darkseer. So low. Enigma, oh no, he's caught out here. That's where the Tide Lina were doing. They didn't get spotted. And it looks like Enigma's going to go down here. And ForLove picked themselves up another kill.
That's where if he had Black Hole, he might just try and pop it if he's got any kind of backup. But of course, just used it. No backup in sight, so he dies. Wastes a TP as well, but no big deal. I mean, he already won a massive fight for his team. He has the mech now. Too bad it wasn't delivered to him because I think he had it before that fight and might have survived otherwise. Still, he buys it. Ultimate Orb on Julz. Generally, we see a lot of Lincoln Spheres, at least in Dota 1, but I think this game he really needs to get something like a BKB or a Hex up quickly. Looks like it'll be the Hex with this Ultimate Orb pickup, but don't be surprised if it is a Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, I think Lincoln Sphere is very possible. That's kind of Julz's preferred build. He goes Lincoln Sphere into Aghanim Scepter, at least in Dota 1, and basically you get the mana you need from the Lincoln Sphere to deal to spam that ultimate with that short cooldown, and then the Lincoln Sphere is going to be useful. I mean, the DK stun initiation, the Tide Gush. I mean, there's a number of spells, a Laguna Blade as well. Here we go, big smoke. ForLove have looked to come around here. They're going to find the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon gets completely popped, and Julz is just going to run for his life.
Absolutely, blinking away from that is going to survive. DK, or CK rather, rotating up towards the top side of the map, now facing off against Prophet, and pulled in by the Reality Rip. There's a Phantasm, there's a Wand. Is going to need to use both if he wants to get this kill, but chooses not to. Tries to run away. Prophet ult comes in. Lich finally arrives. Don't think Lich can do too much here. The Prophet ult will connect, splashing through, doing a bit of damage. Oh, Nature's Prophet overstayed his welcome, I believe. Maybe not. Look at that Frost Armor. As well as that, not going to be enough though, because Owe charges in, picks up that kill. A buyback immediately from Banana. Wants to punish this, wants to get something in return. Where does he go? It looks like bottom lane, where he's going to be fighting off against some Queen of Pain illusions. So actually buying back and really accomplishing nothing. And the tier 1 top probably about to fall. Darkseer sitting on 1400 gold, getting to that, close to that next item, and really no trade for ForLove. Don't know about that buyback.
Yeah, and Dreamz going to have that sort of that key survivability point in the game coming up soon with the pipe as well as the mech. Looks like Darkseer's not going to finish. Oh no, he does finish off the full Vanguard. I don't know if it was intending to. He had the cloak there, but yeah, he's going to buy up the full Vanguard. So still a bit of a way to that pipe. They've got the mech up. They've got a lot of tankiness on the CK as well as the Darkseer. Even Queen of Pain. If Queen of Pain can finish off the Lincoln Sphere, we're looking pretty tanky as well. So with that in mind, I mean, Dreamz maybe going to look to start getting more and more fights. Black Hole's back online in just 10 seconds as well. We saw how much work that did for Dreamz in that last fight when they had it. So ForLove need to be careful with this. They've got great map coverage. They're setting up wards fairly aggressively, looking to getting them, especially in the lanes and in the enemy jungle. So they'll know kind of what Dreamz are up to. They can find some more pickoffs, but they don't want those big 5-on-5 fights. They want to try find some smaller pickoffs and smaller scale fights.
I really wonder what Hansi is saving for. Sitting on 3,400 gold, and finally he's going to buy the BKB. Maybe I was thinking about going for something else because he really took his time on that, but BKB will be pretty helpful this game. Remember though, there's a black hole, so you can never count on that doing too much for you. It really will come down to positioning. Tide, you talked about the pipe and the mech coming for Dreamz. ForLove about to get a pipe on their Tide Hunter, and the mech, Lich almost completed that one. Well, let's see. Does he have the recipe? He does, so mech pipe for both teams. We could see a lot of heroes barely living in these fights.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of damage here, and I mean, I feel bad for some of these supports here. I mean, you look the dire side. There's Lich Ultimate, Laguna Blade, the Tide Ravage. I mean, this is not going to be a fun game for your Shadow Demon. His positioning is going to have to be really precise, backing up his teammates, using those disruptions. I mean, you can't really look to go into use an offensive disruption. You'll just get popped. So he's going to have to be sitting back, waiting to maybe disrupt someone who gets initiated on by a DK stun, or the Tide gets hit in the Tide Ravage. If Shadow Demon gets caught in a Tide Ravage, he's probably dead himself. And same thing kind of applies to the squishy Lena Lich on the dire side. They're going to be really, really squishy looking at the Queen of Pain damage and the CK especially as well.
Absolutely. 3 heroes grouped up mid at the moment. Just a lot of wards actually being dropped over towards the middle lane. You can see Dreamz very concerned about getting caught out of position, falling behind in the team fight. ForLove, not the most mobile heroes, but still pretty strong at chasing between the Lich, spamming out that Nova as well as Gush. Just lots of ways to slow down and pick off heroes. BKBs are in order for all of these heroes, not just the DK. As we see top lane, CK actually looking to go solo, man-to-man with Dragon Knight. Or horse on Dragon, in fact, and now he might be in trouble and pay for this one. Not using the Phantasm, could have tried to dodge something there, but is going to pay for his insolence. Really don't think I mean, maybe they expected backup, just very odd to see him playing so aggressively. But a mistake from him is punished, and now ForLove, 4 heroes grouped up top, looking towards this tier 2, but instead going to back at least one. TP out towards the bottom lane for DK, and then TP away by the Queen of Pain, so they swap lanes, and then go back to farming. buying time for Julz, and he's getting close. If he wants that Lincoln Sphere, he's going to have it pretty soon.
Yeah, they're playing a bit of musical chairs right now, and I think this actually favors Dreamz. I mean, ForLove, I mean, they've got some late game heroes. They've got some decent late game teamfight with the Tidehunter. They've got the DPS that's going to be coming from the DK, the Nature's Prophet. It looks like we're going to be seeing another Necrobook build from Banana. So he's not going for real physical damage items. I mean, DK has to go for a BKB. He can go for a damage item next, maybe with the Maelstrom into Majonia. He may just go for the Assault Crest. But either way, I think the DPS over on the Radiant side for Dreamz is superior. With the CK, the Queen of Pain, not to mention their team fight's better with the Darkseer and the Enigma. Heroes like Lina and Lich will really start to become ineffective the longer this game goes on.
That's true. Dragon Knight is level 15, however. He's going to have his level 3 form up soon. That Frost Dragon can absolutely ruin a lot of these heroes, and the chasing power becomes unparalleled at that point. We don't really see a DK getting this many levels this quickly too often. Now the Roshan engagement breaks out. In comes the Shadow Demon, looking to kind of scout that out, throwing in the Shadow Poison, very helpful for that, but then the counter fight from Banana, coming up onto the high ground, summoning out those Treants, and now even diving on the Darkseer. Oh, he decided to farm here, and I don't think he can afford to do this. Vacuuming in multiple heroes, still has no points in wall at level 12, and just assassinated by that Laguna Blade. Well, they may not have as much damage, but they had enough there. They kill off the Darkseer. No pipe for him, even though he's very close to completing it. Unfortunate time to die, and I don't know if they can fight this without the Darkseer, but they may try anyway. Will they actually go in? It's going to be very difficult to fight into this pit with the mech, with the pipe, and most importantly, that reliable AoE teamfight, the Ravage. Sure, you've got Black Hole, but you don't have a Blink just yet. And now Shadow Demon, you talked about his positioning. Well, he didn't mind it here, and he's going to pay. Sprouted in, picked off by the Treants, and will go down to that Nature's Prophet. Now DK, level 16, with an Aegis, 2,800 gold, and it looks like ForLove could probably just start pushing.
Yeah, that was a big win for them. I mean, getting Roshan there, getting the 2 pickles on Darkseer and Shadow Demon. I mean, Darkseer without wall at this point, he needs to get that level 14 soon. I mean, 14 not normally a key level for a hero, but he needs those 2 points in wall. He doesn't have to have it maxed out, just a couple points is what they're going to need to defend soon. With DK pushing on him with his next big item, whatever that may be, I imagine some source of DPS here. And I mean, just every fight that ForLove wins, it's more farm going to their supports, especially as well. I mean, Lina's going to have a 4-staff, I believe. Tidehunter's going to start maybe farming towards a Blink Dagger, and Lich, I mean, he's already got the mech. I mean, he's providing his team some heals. He's doing more, and he's going to have the Frost Armor as well. So there's a lot of contributions coming from supports that don't normally contribute all that much, but that's because we're still fairly early on in this game. I mean, ForLove has just managed to get a lot of farm on all their heroes by taking towers, taking Roshan, and winning most of the fights.
It looks bad for Dreamz in the sense that they're down 18-7. They're down a decent amount of gold, a decent amount of experience. They just gave up an Aegis. They lost 2 heroes. But they have the Lincoln Sphere up in Julz. The one big concern is going to be if they lose a big fight now and they don't have buybacks or they waste those ults, they're in a lot of trouble. But they have such a strong turtling team, especially with this Blink Dagger, which is just picked up by Enigma. I think ForLove have to be very careful. Despite having this advantage, it's not an overwhelming advantage. And like you said, it is Dreamz are going to scale better into the late, and especially the ultra late game of this one. So we'll see. Can ForLove pull this off, or are they going to make some mistakes, and our Dreamz can be able to punish those? ForLove groups up mid, looking to push. Prophet bottom, but of course he can always TP into this fight. Hansi in the front lines. Reaver the choice for him, going for that raw tank build, and now the big bad Frost Dragon with the BKB charges in, focuses down the Shadow Demon, and they're just going to cut their losses. Prophet ult bounces through. That's going to be an easy kill. The BKB perhaps a little bit excessive there. Julz not even choosing to join this fight just yet. In fact, going to go toe-to-toe with Banana. They get a tier 2 off of this most likely, or maybe not. Surge in, vacuum, blink in, airballs the black hole! Oh my god! Disaster for Dreamz, and a beautiful Chain Frost that looked bad at first. Now the wall, but the stun for the DK. Owe is dead, and now looks like Julz will be joining this fight. Can he make something happen? Can Julz turn this one around? He's got his ult. He's level 15. Chaos Knight is here as well. Reality Rifting in a creep, perhaps out of rage and frustration with that fight. Airball Black Hole. Wall was not really effective. Do they lose racks off of this, though? They're up in 15. I'm not sure, but they might. They're going to go high ground right now.
It's going to be really hard to defend. I mean, the Darkseer wall just level 1. I mean, you say it was very ineffective. I mean, it managed to catch the DK, but just having that really short duration being at level 1 really cost Dreamz.
And no, they back off. Surprising for ForLove. But then again, you did use Ravage. Sure, there's no wall, there's no black hole, but there's still a lot of damage, especially that Queen of Pain has to be a concern. Julz, the one hero, didn't use any of his big ultimate in that fight, so they'll back off. They'll play it safe. Now the Aegis gonna expire in about 3 minutes. It no longer lasts for 10. In this version, it's only 6. ForLove getting close to what I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be a Satanic, maybe it'll be a Heart for Hansi. Either one would be fantastic this game. I feel especially that Heart. You can drop low and then just heal up and continue pushing. It's a great item to siege, especially when you already have a pipe and a mech. So a nice victory for ForLove. Still Dreamz not out of this, but they can't afford to lose too many more fights like that. And the golden experience graphs, it's definitely ForLove starting to pull away with this one.
Yeah, they're starting to pull away, and that's something which, I mean, the later this game goes on, you wouldn't really expect with some of these damage-dealing heroes over on the Radiant side. BK does have his BKB. It's a 10-second duration. He hasn't used it yet. Darkseer needs that level 14, needs to get that second point in the ultimate. The duration doubles, goes from 15 seconds to 30 seconds, and that really will make a huge difference in the next team fight. And Dreamz, I mean, Queen of Pain looking to start building towards that Aghanim Scepter to give that short cooldown to help spam off any more pushes coming in. They haven't lost a set of Raxes yet, so this game still will go for a bit of a while now. ForLove far from out.
Don't initiate on that DK. He's got an Aegis and 2400 HP, not to mention 27 armor. I think they really wanted to go in, but they back off, but they might have even overextended here. Perseverance on the Tidehunter. Guess he's rushing. Are they going to go in? The Sprout to start things off. Banana perhaps sacrificing himself for the team. Lich dives in. The wall drops. Gwei doesn't care. Gwei gets back into the wall along with the rest of his team. Ravage, I believe, only catching Owe, but that's going to be a kill. 2 heroes dead. Ravage for 1. Queen of Pain blinks out. 2 heroes dead, and now possibly even more trouble. The Frost Armor, you can see just how strong it is against that Chaos Knight, as well as the Flame Dragon, or the Frost Dragon. Dragon Knight getting that kill. Triple for the Lich of all heroes, and now the tower under siege. TP out, coming out from blue, that's the Enigma. The good news is still a black hole for the next fight, but another bad fight for Dreamz and ForLove really starting to pull away with this.
It's been a long time since I've seen a long lane solo Lich, and every time I've seen it in the last few months, it hasn't had much success, or even Lich in general as a pick. But here, ForLove, you playing that has just been playing it fantastically. I mean, only 2 deaths against a tough dual lane. The Enigma was coming in looking to push and gank him as well. And I mean, all the ForLove heroes, none of them with more than 2 deaths at this point in the game. I mean, have really played some very precise and refined Dota. I mean, they're looking good here. And with Pipe and Mech up there, it's going to be hard for Dreamz to engage in them.
You know, you can almost see them improving and sort of getting accustomed to Dota 2. One of these Chinese teams that just hasn't played much of the game. Oh, it's really only the teams who were going to the International from China that played a lot of Dota 2 heading into that event. And, you know, as they start to play more games, having this rematch against Dreamz, getting a second shot, like, it's just night and day between how they're playing. Very sloppy, getting picked off a lot, not really doing the best picks in that first series versus Dreamz, but looking a lot stronger here. They still haven't won this one. It should be mentioned. They're up against Enigma. They're up against Darkseer. We've seen it time and time again, especially in European Dota, I feel, where it's just a nice vacuum followed up by the blink black hole, and the wall gets dropped. And suddenly, what is a game with a significant lead just goes completely the other way.
Yeah, I mean, this is 10k gold lead, which can just be flipped on its head in about 2 minutes' time if ForLove aren't careful. I mean, mentioned earlier, Lich and Lina, not heroes which will have a massive impact on late game. I mean, you've got Pipe coming soon on the Darkseer, so still no Pipe. But once the Mech as well as the Pipe on the Radiant team, that will negate most of the damage coming from the Lich ultimate, even some of that Lina AoE. The Laguna Blade, whoever it's used on, will still take a lot of damage. So there's some single target firepower, but they're not going to be having that AoE damage coming from those heroes there. And it's going to be relying a lot on the DK as well as the disables, the lockdown coming from the Tide Ravage, and even Nature's Prophet to do some damage. But Dreamz have a slightly more well-rounded team fight where they're not throwing all their eggs in one basket. I mean, they've got they're going to be up against the Mech and Pipe as well, but they've got a nice mix of physical damage on multiple heroes, as well as abilities like the Wall of Replica and Black Hole, which just scale so well the longer this game goes.
And the best thing ever, or the worst if you're ForLove, is giving away a massive Frost Dragon to the enemy team, which scales with those stats from the heart, scales with the strength from the BKB, will be hitting like a truck and be virtually impossible to bring down in a reasonable fashion. So the wall could, as strong as ForLove get, the Darkseer illusions get that much stronger. They're grouped up mid. I really think they're going to wait for that second Aegis to even consider going high ground, though. It's only a few minutes away, and before then, probably not worth it. They've gotten one of the tier 2 towers. The other two have dropped pretty low. Maybe we'll see more of a controlled push, but no all-out aggression. No trying to force the base at this point in the game from them.
Yeah, I mean, they're in no rush. They're still ahead, and they don't want to make any mistakes here. I mean, we mentioned how quickly it can turn on their head with the Dark Seer as well as the Enigma Black Hole. I mean, these AoE ultimates, they want to be careful that they have that next line of items up. And I mean, their next line of items is going to be pretty scary looking. It's a Tide Refresher. DK, who's already got the heart up and looking to build it, maybe some damage following this. He's got the BKB heart. All the survivability he needs to just stand in the front lines, be a complete brawler, and I mean, they can't go on him. They just have to avoid him. But if he's in the front lines, how do they get past him? How do they get onto the heroes behind him? I mean, maybe we're looking at Dreamz trying to smoke up, take ForLove from behind. I just don't know how else they can do this. There's no Aegis up at the moment, but they can just wait for Roshan to respawn if they really want, and then it'll be another scenario where Dreamz are going to be fighting from behind.
This kind of reminds me of what we saw at World Elite in the International 2 East qualifier. It's just using that Roshan advantage, pushing, but doing it in a very sort of controlled way, and just slowly but surely accumulate advantages, making sure that you have a massive lead before you try and go for the win, because they're up against a lineup that can turn things around. So BKB has been up on Chaos Knight, another 2k gold for him. No real big damage items. I feel like he's at least one level and then probably one or two items away from being able to get those quick pickoffs in these team fights. We'll see what he goes for next. Armlet's certainly a cheap, reliable option. Oh no, don't initiate now. Although with this BKB it may work out. Julz assassinates him. The link is to keep him alive. Blink in, black hole by Owe. Great black hole as well, doing tons of damage, and they're fighting inside the wall. The tide drops. Someone bought back. There are two heroes dead effectively now, and the DK brought down. And right before Roshan, and that is the Soul Catcher, just absolutely countering that high armor from the DK. What an incredible fight for Dreamz, and that's the comeback potential we were talking about. And I keep on circling Roshan because guess what? They win that fight, and Roshan just about to respawn.
Well, the dream is still alive for Dreamz. They've won a big fight. They are looking to march down the bottom lane. Take a tier 2. They're not going to be able to go for Raxes here. I don't think they've got enough time. Not to mention Glyph's still in play. But a big fight like that will give them a big boost of confidence. They're going to have to wait for those two big ultimates to come back off cooldown. I mean, the wall and the black hole just both landed perfectly there.
Oh my god. Are they really going to fight this right now? I think Dreamz maybe want to back off. They use the wall. They use the black hole. Gotta be careful, and the DK charges in. 4-step into the Dragon Tail. What a nice combo. Disruption really helping him to survive. Meanwhile, Darkseer dropping low. Gonna go down to that Lina, who's auto-attacking like an absolute champ. Lich ult only really hitting creeps. Couple heroes dead. Shockingly, Dreamz decides to fight this one, and they're gonna lose 3 in the blink of an eye. Fighting without Julz as well, although honestly, he would have either died or ran away from that fight at best, and what looked like a great fight, all of a sudden ForLove gonna get essentially the game thrown right back to them. Dreamz sort of forfeit a big turnaround. Joel's still getting farmed, but this is now an Aegis on a DK, and despite buying back, he is still very scary with the items he already has.
Yeah, he's looking very scary indeed, and now we're going to see an Aegis picked up on him, so he's going to have that two lives to work with, unless they want to give it to the Nature's Prop. But I feel DK, even if you respawn without the ulti, he can still do a lot just based on all the items he's accrued throughout this. And Hansi, he's looking scary, and this is not going to be easy for Dreamz. They can't afford to overextend like that. They win a fight, and I feel that it's sort of reminiscent of past games where once they win a fight, they think they can just sort of do anything, and then they pay the price, and that's what we're seeing here.
Especially after a buyback like that. Uh-oh, Julz, gotta be careful. Blinks away. Gush could remove that Lincoln Sphere, but would be enough for the kill anyway, so he blinks out. He will escape. But yeah, it's very surprising. It would be one thing if they just tried to force the fight 5v5, but when you see the hard carry, the DK buyback, and you know your two big team fight ults are down, normally you just run. Look at Julz, though. This is that combo you talked about, the Lincoln Sphere plus the Aghanim Scepter. He can just walk in, throw the ult, remove that push, and feel relatively safe that he's not going to be brought down. And the ult is available in only 20 seconds, so this will at least stall the push. If not, and he tries to go for the denied. Cheeky play. Not going to get it, but I love the gumption of this one. ForLove potentially going high ground right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Ag Scepter been up on Qualifier for a while. He's just going to continually to use that one. I mean, a lot of that damage can be negated with Mech, Pipe, and various other items that ForLove have got here. But ForLove, I mean, they're being slowed down. Nature's Prophet, no Sheepstick. Sheepstick is now up. Okay, I was about to say, it felt like the Sheepstick was coming soon. So Sheepstick up on Nature's Prophet, so they're going to have even more lockdown. And that's something which they can use to maybe pick off some of these heroes like Queen of Pain. I mean, sure, there's a Lincoln Sphere, but if you combo it with another spell at the same time, it will still go through. And Dreamz, they have to be really careful. One pick off and they can essentially just lose the game right there. They haven't lost a Rax, but they're really sort of drawing this fine line where one pick off, one bad team fight, they lose. Whereas ForLove, they have a lot more space to work with. They can make a mistake here or there. I mean, they lost that one bad team fight to a big black hole Darkseid wall. Even if that happens again, they're still ahead. They're still in a good position, whereas it's a much finer line for Dreamz.
It's a fine line, and it's a Reaver up on the Chaos Knight. Nobody has buyback right now in Dreamz. Cooldown on the buyback, on the DK, on the Lina. 2 heroes who bought back after the last fight. It was actually 3 heroes dead when I said it was 2, because they both bought back at the same moment, almost instantaneously. But I'm a little surprised not to see. I mean, I'm not surprised, but a lot of other teams would say for buyback here. But Dreamz is very aggressive. Most of the Pinoy teams are, and they just want to get those items up ASAP. Don't want to be saving for it. And will it cost them? We're about to find out, as the clash potentially going to start mid. They have good positioning here on the high ground with julz. Maybe they can assassinate someone off the bat. Titus Refresher, though, and now it's CK jumping in on the Prophet. The ult from Quap, really not doing anything with the pipe there. Refresher, but no mana, needs to pop that wand. Will pop it, could Ravage, but it's only Quap you would hit. Not really the best, such a chaotic fight. All the supports running. Second Ravage does connect. Beautiful one this time around. Still haven't killed off that Chaos Knight, but now ForLove can turn their attention towards him, and that's 3 heroes dead, and that's no buyback. julz can use that ult in 15 seconds, maybe delay this push, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough. They never got a black hole in that fight off. It's still available. Thought maybe it got canceled at some point, but just never found the opening he wanted.
It's so hard to find that without the BKB, and even with BKB, Lich Ultimate, I mean, a long casting range, cancel it as well, so Lich can really save it once he gets the BKB. Oh, is he going for it?
Yeah, he goes for it, catches everyone, but no follow-up, and then dies for his troubles. And with that, 4 heroes dead, and the black hole used. I don't know if they can defend this. They're certainly going to lose 1 lane of Rax. The real concern for Dreamz is, do you just lose the game right now? Do you just die after losing this fight? And ForLove think they do. They're going to push onwards. They have that level 4 Frost Armor. Nobody's going to take any damage. There's still an Aegis on the... Oh, blinking by julz. Quap ult looks to go, pulling everyone into the wall. ForLove perhaps overextending. The wall doing good damage, not bringing anyone down just yet though, but bringing them low. julz barely living, almost dying to the creep wave, is going for the E-Blade. Probably a Dagon 5 afterwards. This is the classic build that a lot of the Pinoys love to go for. I don't know if he's going to get there, but Ghost Scepter not a bad item at this point. Anyway, they don't win that fight though. They don't really get any kills, and now ForLove can just push right down the top lane again. The pipe's available, and DK is so massive. Just send to the front lines, auto attack away. You have the Aegis, but I guess they're a little bit afraid, and they're not going to force this. Surprising that they back off here.
Yeah, maybe considering waiting for this Tide ultimate. 40 seconds, they'll have double Ravage once again. So I think it's to sit on this high ground, on top of this little ledge where DK is now, and just wait for that to come back into play.
That's a good point, and they know Black Hole will still be down. They know the wall is just going to be coming back up, so they won't be able to combo the Black Hole with the wall. Really aggressive positioning from Dreamz, surging in, vacuuming back to BKB, could fly any moment on DK. There's your wand, getting popped, instantly julz assassinates one. They chase onward, they want this DK. Chaos Knight trying to do anything to cleave through that armor, but it's just too much. Black Hole in 80 seconds, nowhere near being ready. The Ravages are the big thing. 8 seconds till they're up, needs to pop that wand, dies right as the double Ravage comes online. And actually, Dreamz may just run away with this fight after it. Hansi dropping low. Hansi in a lot of trouble. Hansi will go down, but does have the Aegis. Everybody low in Dreamz. And no! Kills the Necro 3 and dies for his trouble. Unfortunate. Propagating kill in the darks here. Now the Lina looks to go. 4-step in. Picking up a kill for the Prophet. julz blinks away. Chaos Knight in trouble. Laguna Blade to bring him down. Level 18 on the support Lina. It is now 41 minutes in. This is the opposite of that game 1, where it just felt like it was a really long game, but it was actually quite short. This one, 41 minutes in, I feel like it's been a 10-minute game.
Absolutely, I mean, it's really just flowing by, and we're suddenly in this late game where DK's big Tide Hunter, the solo mid Tide's got a refresher. I mean, he was so close. If that was a double Tide Ravage in there as well, it would have gone so much worse for Dreamz. I love the initiative they took. Going in when they knew Tide Ravage was on cooldown, they figured, okay, sure, we haven't got Black Hole. They didn't even have the Darkseid ultimate when they went charging in, but they knew as soon as Tide Ravage came back on, they were going to lose a fight. So they went for it. And now, now Tide Ravage is up. Black Hole's up as well, so This is going to be, yeah, ForLove. They're going to have to back off. They're going to wait for Tide to rejoin with them because Black Hole as well as Darkseer Wall of Replica both back up. And so Dreamz, they're ready to fight with their ultimates, but the problem is the double Tide Ravage is proving to be just as deadly, if not more deadly, than those two ultimates on Enigma and Darkseer.
If julz can somehow farm this Ethereal Blade, I feel they could actually just assassinate any hero. Even the Tide, they might be able to kill him, although he does have the Hood, the Pipe, giving him that magic resistance. julz out of position a bit here. He's got to be careful. Can look to blink away, but Prophet is TPing in. Remember, they sprout to remove that Liquid Sphere, but not able to get the Hex off in time. But Tide giving chase, could gush this one. 4-step in, looking for the stun. Barely going to escape from that. julz almost dying, and if he died, he'd be forced to buy back, and they really need him to get another item or two to have any shot at winning this. The climactic deciding fight is about to happen. Who's going to take this one? Darkseer charging in. Vacuum and wall. Black hole immediately canceled. Ravage number 1. Waiting for that second Ravage. 10 charges on the magic stick. Could look to drop it. Waiting. Delivers. Ravage going off. Doing a lot of damage. Dreamz losing 2. Oh wait, running. Hoping it back to the fountain. Queen of Pain ult from julz. Doing everything he can to drag his team to victory. But it's not enough. 4 heroes dead, and now the second lane of Rax, and with that, I feel most likely the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're all dead. They could even go for a third lane here if they want with this Assault Crest up on DK. They're just giving DPS to all these heroes. They're going to catch out julz once again here. And, I mean, things for Dreamz, the problems are just surmounting, and it looks like, yep, GG is going to be called. Dreamz, unfortunately, will not be participating in the G1 League, as well as Beneski. The two Pinoy hopes both go down in round 1. ForLove will be another Chinese powerhouse coming on potentially into the G1 League. They've got to win their next round match, which is going to be up against Flash Esports, and that's going to be one hell of a match.
Well, it should be mentioned it's a double elimination format, so they get knocked down to the losers bracket, but if they're able to win their way through that, they would be the third team to get into the tournament, correct?
For Dreamz?
Yeah.
No, this is a round 1 match. Round 1, if you lose your round 1 match,
oh, you only get knocked out. Okay, sorry guys, I was confused about the format as well.
No.
God's here to school me a little bit, but if you lose your round 2, then you do get a shot, correct?
Then you play for the third place. But
Okay.
if you lose round 1, you're out. So the two teams who lose in round 2, there's now 4 teams left in the tournament. EG are playing SQL and Flash are playing against ForLove. So 3 of those 4 teams will be in the G1 League. 1 team, unfortunately, will not be, and that'll be decided today as well as tomorrow.
Right, so we have our 4 teams. It's going to be Flash facing off against Forever Love, and, well, one of these teams will be going home, but the that'll be Dreamz, unfortunately, the Pinoy fan favorite, not able to take this series. It's got to be frustrating for them after winning that initial series with Woot standing in for Mineski, then forced to replay it. Not able to take the second one, though, and although the Ethereal Blade was completed in the final moments for julz, he was not able to carry his team to victory. That does it for our first best out of 3, a rather long and exciting one at that, but we should be headed in momentarily. I think we're going to jump almost right in to Forever Love facing off against Flash Gaming, or Flash Esports, rather. Whoever wins that series moves into the main event. Whoever loses it still has a shot. They have to win in that loser bracket. We'll find out soon who's going to advance. Will it be Forever Love? Will it be Flash Esports? By the time today ends, 2 teams will have secured their spots for the $52,000 prize pool for the G1 Dota 2 League. So stay tuned. This qualifier not over yet. In fact, we're just getting started today, ladies and gentlemen.